Hi, this is Pat Wright at LegalizeFerrets.org, and today is vet appointment day for the two ferrets, Noodle and Dino. And very sadly, Merlin died on Sunday, and so I'm taking him to be cremated at the same time, and it's really horrible because he's stuck in a little refrigerator down here, and I have to go unpack the body. But let's all go to the Avian and Exotic Animal Hospital in San Diego. So Dr. Jenkins has been my vet
and
for...
we can do his desloralen in here if you
whatever you want to do. Okay, but
show us doing it.
do you mind saying what a desloralen implant is?
Well, let's see. So we're going to give this guy his little annual desloralen implant.
Okay, that is Dino, and he's just over a year. And
okay,
what I heard, and it could have changed, is that ferrets under 3 years don't really need it. But if you're made out of money,
we start at 10. I mean at 3 most of the time.
3. Okay, so but she is. I think this will be your third, so she must be about 6. Is that right? Noodle. But he, Dino.
I have Noodle as being 4. Is that right?
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Well, it's probably right.
2019 version, according to her record. But
well, we definitely know she needs it.
But at least at 4, she should have one.
Now,
here's what I'll tell you is that go back 10 years, maybe even less than that, 7 years. I'll bet you 7 years ago I did 50 adrenalectomies. And in today's dollars, that's probably $2,500, $3,000 today.
Holy shit.
Back then it was $1,200, $1,400.
I've got a discount. I remember $800-$900 range.
But for the last 3 years, I haven't done a single adrenalectomy.
That means you're out of practice too. So.
Yeah.
Because they're always on the right side of the vena cava.
Well, the ones on the right side are always the hard ones.
That's why they're always on the right side.
Murphy's Law is that the hard side's the more common side.
Murphy's Law, ferrets.
I'll bet you 25% of them had tumors on both sides, and we'd take them both out, and then they'd have to stay on, prednisone and or.
Oh, that's no fun.
Those replacement hormones.
Okay, well, so I don't know his medical care. He came in to a rescue.
He's a handsome fellow.
He's really fattened up for the reason. So, I mean, does he need a distemper? We used to live in fear of distemper.
Yeah, I would say probably no. But
no, I'm surprised.
You think he's a year?
I've had him a year. I got him just about this. We just missed.
We give them their baby shots and we vaccinate them a year, and then we're done with them.
I don't know if he's had that shot out a year. Better safe than sorry.
Might give him a little Benadryl just in case.
I know. I've never been through that.
The older they are, the more likely they are to have anaphylactic.
Anaphylactic. Yeah, actually, I know people. What is it? About 5% do it.
Yeah, and there's all these veterinarians. I don't know if it's just because they want to make money, but there was good research that showed that with ferrets, if you vaccinate them as babies and boost them at a year, they're good for the rest of their lives.
That's
so it's like people. If you have a measles vaccine as a baby, and distemper is the ferret version of measles.
Really?
You're covered for the rest of your life with that. But if you're exposed to measles, they have you booster.
I had measles before the vaccination came out. I just missed the vaccination.
Yeah.
I was deathly ill.
Yeah, I went to a measles party when I was a kid. I went to a chickenpox party. I had both those diseases that I caught from all the neighborhood toddlers or kids.
I don't know. I was in the hospital.
Run him back and I'll vaccinate him, and I'll get the desloralen if you want to film me putting it in.
Okay,
We're just going to do it with a scruff.
All right. So I'll see you in a minute.
So I'll be right back.
Okay.
And history, because it's not worth worrying about. So that might make him just a smidgen chill, because
Is she okay?
it'll make you. Lots of people take diphenhydramine to make them sleep through the night. Because
that's what we use cannabis for. But that means they wake up 2 hours later hungry for White Castle.
Okay, so here's the deal with Mr. Is it Noodle? Who's the one who's getting the
Noodle, Ms. Noodle.
Ms. Noodle.
The white one.
If I put that in with, we did it with no anesthesia the last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a little more brutal, but they're tough little weasels, and it's not that big of a deal.
Boy, I could never be a veterinarian.
And
well, do what you think is best.
And but it's harder to film him in back because we're not supposed to let anybody in the back anymore. But
Well,
so,
you know, but the ferret's welfare comes before the video, so if you need to take her back, that's fine. But could you just explain why you would do the
but
desloralen
we
implant?
didn't use any last time. Did she do okay with that?
They always do fine.
Okay.
Me, on the other hand, I'm a little squeamish.
I'm gonna run her back. Is she in here?
Yeah, she's not. But anyway, could you mind just telling why people should get?
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, we started that a little
Yeah,
bit.
I know we both get distracted.
What the desloralen does is it turns off the stimulus from their brain that makes their tumor make this hormone-like byproduct. So it makes a step between cholesterol and testosterone or progesterone or estrogen. And those hormone-like substances is what causes the hair loss and the muscle loss and and probably makes them, although we don't have good solid research, but makes them prone to insulinomas. Because what we do know is that not only do we not do adrenal surgeries to take out adrenal glands anymore to speak of, but we just don't see hardly any adrenal disease either. So
I'm grateful for that.
pancreas,
But the insulinomas are pretty nasty, and
insulinomas.
they've been getting them later, but they've been
Yeah.
getting them.
But I think that, and the very first article I ever published about ferrets was this article that showed how common it was for them to have adrenal tumors and pancreatic tumors and other stuff at the same time. And so we've always kind of thought that there was a link between them. But I think, at least from a clinical standpoint, we've kind of proven that if you don't let the tumors produce that hormone, then they don't change the pancreas to make the pancreatic tumors. By the way, the implant doesn't stop them from getting the adrenal tumors. They still get the tumors. It just stops them from having the symptoms of having the adrenal tumors. But those tumors never get very big, and they don't. It's not the problem is not in the size of the tumor or what it does growing. It's in the hormonal changes and the chemical changes in the ferret that makes the ferret sick. So, and that's part of that whole. Should you start them at a year or not start them at a year? I think the people who wanted to start them at a year were under the kind of impression that the desloralen implant would stop them from ever getting a tumor. But we've come to find out that they still get the tumor. They just never show the signs of having the tumor. They never lose their hair. They never get skinny.
They do live longer too.
They absolutely live longer.
So
Yeah.
I'm getting about 2 years more out of them.
Yeah.
Except, there's
So,
always a
we
problem.
used to say, well, they live to be 7 most of the time.
Well,
But
God
now
knows,
we're
I
getting
mean,
8-year-old ferrets and 9-year-old ferrets.
they don't come with a guarantee.
That's right.
Well, if you need to take Erin back,
Well, okay.
I appreciate that because I don't like needles. Like I said, I had
Okay. Well,
measles.
I'll describe what I'm going to do. I'm going to
Okay.
shave just a little teeny spot right here behind her scapula, her little wing bone, if you will.
Lucky girl
And
noodle.
then I'm going to wash that up so it's nice and clean and sterile.
Okay.
And then we're going to scruff her up and give her just a little bit of isoflurane so that she's not caring about what goes on around her. Then we'll poke this great big 14 gauge needle. I mean, it's big.
I know. That's why I'm going to be here and you're going to be
and,
there.
And in there, and we go all the way in, and we back it up about a quarter of an inch, and then we put that little
I feel
waxy
nauseous just thinking
implant.
about it.
And,
Glad I'm not a ferret
and then
today.
we make sure it doesn't bleed. Sometimes we'll put a little dot of tissue cement on there if it wants to be a little oozy,
Okay.
and she'll be awake.
All right. Well, have fun. I'll
Okay.
stay here.
We will be right back.
Okay.
You know.